it feels like a movement sandbox that you can just keep endlessly improving on. And I think that's something that AFQM is it's not necessarily there yet since it's only a month in.
Give
But I
him
feel
2
like over
months.
time we'll get there. Yeah.
Give him 2
I
months
think
at
it'll
this
get
rate.
there. So I think overall I was just very surprised that
Oh my fucking
Oh
god,
my
Shadow.
I
god.
just thought
Wait.
that was disgusting.
that's actually so good.
That was disgusting.
I'm leaving.
No, you can't leave on that.
Good evening, everybody, and happy Sunday. We're back with another episode of Wavelength Intel Podcast. I'm your host, Jazzwave, and we got the whole gang here once again. You know, we have a pretty interesting topic to talk about. You know, a little break from discussing the tournaments that just passed and the tournaments coming up. Just something more relevant to us because we have ourselves what is essentially a hybrid of Rivals 1 and Rush Rev that is popping off so quickly. That is a few quick matches. And you know, something as simple as stick fighters and a little bit of time on your hands. All it took was a month, I believe, for a single developer to just put together this game and bring the people something amazing. So amazing that the devs even held their first major tournament worth $2,000. So we're gonna take a quick look today at AFQM, give our thoughts about the game because we've all tried it at this point. Take a brief look at Matchstick, and then we're going to ask the big question of, well, if you guys like AFQM, then how come you didn't play Rivals 1 or Rushdown Revolt? Alright, so let's get right into it, gentlemen. How are we all feeling about AFQM so far?
I think we should just go in a circle here to make it easier.
Yeah, I'll go
Alright.
first. Game feels good. It feels a little overwhelming at times though, because there's some times where you're doing some combos and you're like, wait, should I be canceling here to go into another aerial or do something else, or should I just try and do a bread and butter? Every character feels familiar because all of their like move sets are just a bunch of fusions of a bunch of different stuff. Like Rend is the sword character and he has like a bunch of Cloud-esque type moves, but he also has a really cool command grab, so you can kind of like Rend side with people if you're on stage. Noct feels...
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah, you can. Like if you're on stage and
You
grab
die
them.
and they recover.
Oh, actually?
You cannot do that.
Oh, then the people online are very dumb then when I played them. So they would just accept death.
Oh my god.
Trust
I've
me,
done it
I've
like
definitely tried to
10
do that to
times.
people that were actually
Yeah.
competent, and they lived every time.
Well, I'm in the lower elo apparently because I've done it and I've hit it at least 10 times. So
That's funny.
Just
it was all
10?
on Skeptic.
Ju-
Yeah, just 10. No, but Noct, he's like a fusion of Pit and Toon Link and Snake, and he feels really good as well. He's got arrows, he's got sticky bombs, he has Pit like arrows as well with his like bird. It's kind of like Pit arrows. And then Eureka is if like Fox and Zero Suit Samus fuse together, they would be broken, and they are broken in this game. That character is kind of crack cocaine, and that one seems like the most overwhelming with how much movement she has. But overall, I think the game is really good, and there's only 3 characters right now, but it still feels like a lot of variety, which is really weird to say because usually people just need minimum 6 characters to play the game.
I think they're coming out with characters pretty fast though.
Yeah, they are coming out with Ninja like next week. So
Oh, okay, yeah.
Ooh,
See,
okay.
there you go. And I imagine like the cycle for getting new characters is gonna be pretty fucking quick.
yeah, most likely. But overall, I think the game feels really good to play. It feels fun, and that's the most important thing. Fun and interactive with your opponent. I'm not calling anybody out, but if anybody else wants to take it up next, go ahead. Floor's yours.
Man, fuck
Alright.
you. I interact. I interact in the game.
What? Says the crag player? That's crazy.
Yeah.
I am a grappler. Anyways, I guess I'll go next because I wanted to defend myself.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game's fun. Personally, like you said, it feels really good, feels fluid, and it is overwhelming. And to me, I feel like just straight up right away, this like if you do decide to take it seriously, dog, this is. I know people have their feelings about R2 being a Master's Paradise, but nah, this feels like a Master's Paradise, bro. Holy crap. And we're like it was me and Shadow playing. First of all, fuck you, Shadow.
This is also pre-nerf, so there was a lot of like nonsense that existed.
I don't care. Still, fuck you. But no, like I'm sitting here like, huh? Is the rest of the game like this? Like how it feels like this? I look at somebody. I look at HBox getting wrecked by like the best Eureka player. I'm like, dog, this is gonna suck at a high level, dude. I'm not sure if I want to go through this shit again, and also like watch this shit again.
Leviathan was just built different.
Like
That's all.
That's just me though. Like if somebody were to ask me to boot it up, and like I'd be like, yeah, sure, fuck it, why not? You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, no, it is fun, and also fun fact: Steam Workshop coming soon. We'll get to that later, but yeah, yeah, that's about as much as I got. TLDR feels good, looks fun, is fun. It's just gonna suck at a high level.
All right, Shadow, you're up next. I know one of the first things you told me was that you found some sort of bullshit for every single character and then found a Eureka Infinite.
That which immediately got patched out.
Thank God. Thank God.
Good job.
You showed me that shit. I was like, bro, I'm out.
Dude, holy freak! I get that it's like just like I said, a passion project. So I expect a lot of this stuff to kind of just slip through. But holy freak!
Oh yeah, no, for sure.
A lot of the characters just kind of did that because day one, I got to like play it with some of the people in the community, and I got to see what these characters do. And yikes, it was far worse than I thought it could happen because these characters are crazy. Like Noct was the king of timeouts, so his whole goal was just running away, throwing stuff at you and just timing you out. Eureka is bullshit. Quite literally, like you said Fox DSS, but you forgot to add Falcon onto that list.
Oh, true.
Because oh my god, those moves are freaking crazy. And the main idea of just like chaining moves into each other is just like, okay, well this character is like really freaking good at doing that. And you can do it out of like strong attacks, you could do it to like wobble. There's a lot of stuff with that character that's just insane. And then Rend, he's kind of like the Goo Goo Gaga character, even though I had a little bit of trouble understanding him initially because of like I'm not used to like full hopping to get stuff like that, even though it's literally Ike Nair.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's just like Rend is just you get one hit, you pop off, you use your big normals, you just kind of throw it out. He's susceptible to parries, but at the same time, it's like you kind of get hit and you blow up. Like that's the name of the game. You get hit, you blow up. And the patches have been like doing work to kind of regress that, but even then, it doesn't really stop creative expression from players. And I actually think that's like the best thing about this game is just the pure expression that you can get from like the amount of combos you can do, what combos you can do, because it's completely freeform. Because Rush Rev mechanics, which aren't as limiting as Rush Rev, because even though you have like rush canceling you can only go in like a set direction, and it kind of arcs you to get combos instead of just like sending you straight there. This game it just sends you straight there. So it's just like as long as you're able to understand just how hitboxes work and how much stun they're in, which does decay over time and has hit stun scaling. There is hit stun decay in this game, so there is scaling. So you can't just use the same move over and over and over again and expect good results, even though some things slip past the cracks.
Like the infinite jump from Rend.
Oh my god, that jab is still stupid.
It was very funny.
Yeah, no. I think the game is fun. That's kind of the point. That was kind of the idea behind this game initially, from at least what I heard from the dev. So I'm glad that there's more plat fighters out there that are just like taking time to just make games fun rather than just like, oh, market to like a fair share of audience, or just like have like some kind of set stringent goal, or market to the competitive scene. Which no matter what game you make, there's always going to be some sort of competition. It doesn't matter if it's like the most casual Mario. People play competitive in Mario Party. Just to put it into perspective. So there will always be competition out of even the most degenerate type of game. So, but I like the game. I think it's definitely worth picking up. I'm pretty sure the sale is long over, so it's like $7 right now. So if you want to like get it, try it out, mess around, have a good time.
Oh, boo-hoo, it's only
$7. I think it's worth it.
It's worth it. It is worth it. So if you're crying over $7,
but fair warning, please try to just, if you're gonna get the game and you're gonna play it, especially this is to you new players, just understand that you really kind of want to avoid quick match and just interact with the community, because there's gonna be it at the end of the day. It's a Discord fighter. Like everything is through a Discord fighter now. So you're gonna have to interact with people and try to find someone around your skill level, or just even mess around. There's plenty. Despite there being 3 characters, there will always just be the opportunity to just mess around. So that's the point. That's my take on it.
All right, Skeptic.
All right. Most of you pretty much have the same sentiments that I do. I think the game is mad fun. It's dirt cheap. I mean, my McDonald's meal costed $13. If you can pay for McDonald's, you could pretty much buy this game. You're pretty much good on that.
No, but you don't understand. Like, I need sustenance, even though it's shit.
Do you? Do you really?
The options you gotta pick McDonald's. Sheesh, man.
Hey, listen, I don't eat healthy, all right?
I'm glad you picked McDonald's and not Burger King. Anyways, yeah, what are your thoughts on the game?
Oh, Lord.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, no, like Tech said, even though there are only 3 characters, they're all so different from one another that you'll eventually find a character that kind of fits your playstyle. You like a fast rushdown character, you got Eureka. You want to play a bit more neutral, you want to be a little bit more trap heavy, Noctis right there. You want to play a good mid-range character that has big normals, Rend is literally right there with a command grab, because why not? Like, there's so much variety in those 3 characters, and I'm really looking forward to who they're adding next besides Ninja. Because the sky's the limit. Especially since most of these characters are stick figures, they don't have to worry too much about making a lot of animation adjustments. So their turnaround time on characters will be relatively fast.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how the game develops, and not just the amount of characters, but also how the gameplay will develop. And to the people that are saying, oh, it's going to be very touch of deathy, the game just came out. Not a lot of people understand the matchups quite yet. There's not a lot of matchup knowledge, and not everybody is utilizing a lot of the defensive mechanics currently built within the game to their fullest potential. So of course you're going to be seeing a lot of goofy combos that may not look too fun on the outside, but as the game develops, I'm pretty sure those will show up a lot less often. So I wouldn't feel too worried about, like, if you're looking at the game, and I've seen this too, when the clip of Hungrybox getting basically touch of death got out, a lot of people in the Twitter comments were like, oh man, this game looks really mashy, touch of deathy, I don't want to play a game like that. And while I do understand your concerns, he literally matched up against the best Eureka player. That's literally that's like having a MMA fighter fight like a 5-year-old. Like, it's unwinnable. So of course you're gonna see stuff like that. So I think that clip is just over exaggerated. If the game looks interesting, like I said before, it's only like a couple bucks, just try it out. And if not, Steam has a very generous refund policy. So you could just play it for under 2 hours, and you can still get your money back. So you're not losing out that much from just trying out the game.
I will say, like, okay, wait, hold on. You're refunding a game that's like basically $7, bruh.
I'm just
Like,
saying it's there, bro. I'm just saying it's there.
The
How
option is there. It's good to
how
have the option.
down bad? I don't know. I guess that's just me speaking out my ass because I have so many Bugattis and
You do.
Lambos.
Yeah, you have 17 of them. You don't need all
dude,
17.
yeah, totally. But no, like, I don't know. I mean, for only charging that much for like something that's like a turnaround of a month, that's like this dude made bank. Like
He did.
this dude made bank, and that makes,
And it's so well polished too, and the netcode works 90% of the time. Like, it's relatively good for how much they developed the game. It's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Jazz, any of your thought? You got any thoughts?
So I will say this: I was the last person in this call to get the game because everybody else is playing. I was like, well, shoot, I might as well give it a try. And honestly, I like what I was able to at least play for CPU wise at least. I haven't been able to play any like online matches yet. I'm not gonna take that risk just now until I can figure out my whole ISP situation. And for those that don't know about that, I just haven't been able to play many online games at all, primarily Rivals 2 because of that. But anyway, but I like what I see, and you know, I tried to like get into Noct a little bit more instead of Eureka, but Eureka just scratches that itch. And what's really interesting about Eureka is that she doesn't, for a pseudo species that doesn't have a shine, she feels really good. Right? Like, we all know the core thing that makes up a spacey is a shine, and for a character without it, she's pretty stupid without it. I think they should keep it that way. I like the experimentation like that, where we can create like a pseudo spacey without a shine. I want to see more of that actually, because I know some people aren't the greatest fans of shines, and you know, not a lot of people are gonna be like, oh, I don't want to play a character that's like Melee Fox over and over again. Which I get it, and for me, the way that I see shines is just that if the character has a shine and I can get creative with it as I want, and not just keep it straightforward. But even without that tool, Eureka just has unlimited creativity, and I love it. Ren hurt my brain. Like you said, Shadow having a full hop was kind of odd, but I probably just have to play around with Ren a bit more to get used to him. Not even though he kind of does scratch that set play itch that I have. He's also going to take a little bit for me to understand, but overall, I just love how fluent and clean the game feels. I'd see it possibly growing from a Discord fighter to where it's at locals, it's at maybe regionals, potentially majors as a indie game. Who knows? I think it definitely does have a lot of potential. And it's also, and we'll get into this a little bit more later. It's also interesting to see somebody be inspired by Rivals 1, which Rivals 1 was made off of limitations, right? Limitations that Dan had when making the game. Like, he couldn't have ledges, grabs, shields, and all that. It's so interesting to see a developer just deliberately do that. And the result is still amazing. I know the one thing that is still throwing me off is the fact that when you get hit off stage and you use your wall jump, you don't get your wall jump back. That's just my Rivals 1 brain kinda working. But I understand it. It's called a few quick matches. You want that once your wall jump is burned and you get hit and you don't get it back, well, it works out fine, I'd say. Keeps the match going. Sorry,
Oh,
I had to wait a
forgot.
little.
Yo, the music for the game is a slap. I love the music.
Oh,
I
yeah,
totally
the-
forgot
yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so good. It's such a
How
bop.
simple it is. It's so good.
Dude, I feel like I'm missing out here because like I literally, whenever I play games, I have music off.
Oh, you need to
You
turn it
should
on,
turn the
dude.
music on.
I
It
have
is worth
Yeah.
it.
I have it like low or like I don't have it on at all. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
And the
I'm
sound
sorry,
effects too. Oh, dude,
Okay,
the
I'll give
fucking
you that.
woo
I'll give
from
you
the
that.
bird.
The sound
Woo, be
effects is
upon
pretty
me.
good.
Yep.
But no, like with the whole music thing, bro. Rivals 1 scarred me.
What? What do
Wait,
you
what do
mean?
you? No, that had
It's-
peak
it's-
music. What do you mean?
It's like the same. Well, imagine playing in brackets, and then you play this game every day, over
And you just
and
hear
over.
round 1 Jules Vale.
Yeah, you hear.
every
Yeah,
day.
you just fucking hear Jules Vale, and it's like, okay, I win or lose. All right, well, I guess I'm going to Rockwall or Blazing Hideout because they're dumb and they left it open. They left one of those open, and vice versa.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's literally only because like I played that game for fucking years, and it's probably gonna be the same deal in Rivals 2.
Yeah, that's honestly fair. I did start putting in modded music. Towards,
Yeah,
like,
there's that too.
the latter
I was
half.
like, I got sick of the music. I'm like, yeah, I'm putting in my own shit.
There's a reason why I still have my Pokemon playlist still in Rivals 1. I love the music, it's just that it's so nice hearing my Pokemon music. And when I'm in the mood, I'll swap it out for Mega Man music. It's just easy and straightforward to do for me.
But yeah, no, I guess I'll give it a listen because I'm missing out. Apparently, I'm missing out on Flamin' Young.
Yeah, it's.
Okay, well, it's
pretty-
not bad, but it's good.
Yeah.
At least compared to R2 music. But you know, that's just my.
I'll give you that, dude. Some of these are some of these are weak. But anyways,
One
moving
or
on.
2 tracks. That's a different story, though.
Yeah.
Merch report.
Alright.
I'm sorry. What?
Alright, so moving on to
So wait, is Merch Report just gonna be the new Minna's Lament of fucking Rivals? Is that what that's going on right now?
Wait, what?
Merchant Port being the new Minna's Lament.
I don't know about
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And you have you never listened to Minna's Lament at all?
No.
Twilight Princess.
that. No. I think that's the one I like only played that game once, and that was when I
Oh,
was
shit.
little.
I've never played it yet.
To sum it up, really sad song in a fighting game.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
Oh, that's funny.
That's
Dude.
how I sum it up.
Dude, what the fuck am I hearing right now? Anyways, no. All right, moving on. Jazz, you were saying.
Yeah, moving on to Matchstick, which was the first
yeah, you might
official
wanna pull that up.
AFQM tournament that happened yesterday, had a $2,000 prize pot, and dang, the devs already kicking it off strong. They say, hey, here's 2K for you guys to try and win, and
This guy had to have made a mint with this fucking game. It was like
How many
what?
copies did it sell? Like over 70,000, maybe even more.
Let's say it was like $5, right? And then
Yeah.
multiply this by
Well,
like
it's like
$4.50.
$4. Yeah.
Didn't-
So
didn't the game get like over 100,000 copies sold? or
Yeah,
something?
there
I
you
think
go.
so. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lot of copies.
It might have hit 1 million at this point, but who knows? But
Bro,
we'll
this
see.
dude probably made 500,000 because this was like a solo dolo project.
But yeah, anyway,
Jesus
Matchstick
Christ.
bringing in 454 attendees for the first ever official tournament ran by the developers. Already a very strong showing for this game, honestly. And it brought in people from all sorts of plat fighters. We saw, actually, let me go ahead and I'll just jump to the top 8 for now
Yeah.
to see what happened. So we had people from obviously Rivals 1. There were a couple people from Rush Rev. There were people from Multiverses. There were people from Nasby 2. And Sandstorm. We all know Sandstorm, Brawlhalla player. There was a lot of different people from different games that entered into this bracket, and I'm sorry for any AFQM fans, but I don't know who Alpha Stone is, but I do know who Unluxy is, and that is one of my players. Luxy showing off that he got second in this super stacked event. You know, I see it. You know, Luxy was a really strong Zetter player towards the end of the RCS season. This game was definitely up his alley, so props to him. But on his way to second, beating Leviathan, which we talked about earlier, the person behind the clip that HBox shared, his very first match ever on AFQM was Leviathan, and Leviathan is one of the best Eureka players right now. So to take out the monster that is them is crazy. Girthquake, I've heard the name before. I want to say they came from
Prominent
MBS.
Smash Brothers DDD, man, if I recall correctly.
Yep.
Oh, they're DDD. Okay.
And then
Yeah.
switched to Ices at one point.
Yeah, so we have Girthquake as well. Obviously, Sandstorm, I said earlier, got 5th. Soft as Slick, the name sounds familiar to me. I'm pretty sure I've seen this name in a couple Rivals 2 brackets, but not entirely sure who they play. Sly, I'm not entirely sure if this is the same Rivals 1 Sly that I'm thinking of, but I checked and it's not the Rivals 2 Sly from SoCal. And then we all know him, we all love him. Thunder's getting
Yeah.
7th.
By the way, Alpha Stone is primarily right now in NASB 2. I don't know what game they came from beforehand. But I know that they're in NASB. They're really good Azula. And we even had some like old school Rivals 1 players. Like Dunk Chai was in there, Jerain was in there. It was actually kind of sick. So.
Waba, to answer your question, it is server based.
Wait. AFQM is server based?
It's server based, yes.
And that's insane. How is it server based and the servers are better than Rivals 2?
You know.
I thought it was peer-to-peer the whole time. What the hell?
In this game.
Me too.
Yeah, no, that's like the big thing is like because it's stick figures. That's like there's like less shit happening.
Yeah.
There's like less shit to worry about.
Aether Studios, we gotta optimize Rivals 2.
That's like that's the biggest thing. Is like
we've been saying that since the beginning.
Like we literally
Yeah.
said that day. We literally said that day -100.
Yep. Also, to add to the 454 attendees, I got done doing the numbers. There was only 43 DQs.
We're still at
Only
100.
40 is actually crazy.
Only
That's
43,
it?
and 24 of them were in the very beginning. 15 were after they lost their round 1.
Jesus Christ.
Two was after they played 2 rounds, whether they won their first round in winners or won their losers round 1. And then there was only there was another player that did win 2 rounds then DQ'd, and there was only one top 64 DQ. So overall, I mean, that's pretty damn good that everybody played until they lost, except for those 43 players.
Yeah, still being able to maintain 400 people even after the DQ is really good, really good. But unfortunately, none of us really watched Matchstick when it was happening yesterday, so we can't really speak much of how it went. But from the looks of things, it looks like everybody did well, played their heart out, and managed to take home some good money. I looked at the price split actually, and for $2,000, this is the split. First got 800, second got 400, third got 300, fourth got 200, fifth got 100 apiece, and then seventh got 50 apiece. How do we feel about this price split?
Wait, so that's 2,000. So that's okay, so that's 40. 40 at the top bracket. That's actually a pretty even split.
Yeah, I kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fire. And they were probably paid out on time.
Ooh.
So true.
I respect it. There are a lot of places that do not like to pay it on time.
But yeah, once again, really excited to see AFQM take off. Again, it may be a Discord fighter right now, but who knows? If it does well enough and it keeps popping off, we may start to see it more at majors potentially. Hopefully not Smash majors. That's my one thing that I want to say to the developers of AFQM is that you are trying to look to get your game out there a bit more at events. Turn to FGC events. They will give you the full course meal, and we talked about this before with Rivals 2 at Evo and other FGC events. So the only thing I gotta say to them,
Yeah,
really,
Evo
really sick
had
game.
Evo had their
You
own
can check
indie
out that
alley.
episode on Jazz's channel or on the Spotify if you missed out.
True.
Yeah.
I haven't finished this video, but Evo had their very own like indie alley where like
Oh
people
yeah,
just
that
wanted
is
to go and
true.
play all the games and stuff. So I mean, they might be able to get into Evo next year and just show off the
Oh,
game.
bro, if
and
they
more
do,
players involved.
dude, that only helps out plat fighters in general.
Yeah, there's
That's what I was gonna allude to, is that I think the most important thing is that if this game does pop off, it will spawn a lot more plat fighters that are more so for fun rather than more going towards the more esports side of things.
Yeah,
Because
I feel
it
like
goes
that's
this is a
desperately
yeah.
what plat fighters need right now. That's why Smash has always been able to do well.
Exactly, yeah. Because the whole thing is that this is a way bigger topic that I can't fit into this episode because it would just be me ranting for like 3 hours plus. But I don't really like the idea that a lot of modern games are trying to cash in on esports and they're really trying to make their games esports friendly, super heavy into competition, having lots of tournaments cropping up before the game is even a year out, and they're trying
Looking at
to
you
just
like
shill
scale.
esports. Yeah. So the fact that they keep pushing esports instead of trying to make their game polished and fun, to me, is what has killed a lot of my competitive spirit for gaming in general. So to see a game like a few quick matches spawn up, and it's primarily just they made it a game that they just wanted to play and not solely based on esports, feels very refreshing. And I hope that this game's success will inspire other indie devs that are looking into platform fighters to kind of go that same route as well.
Mind you, we haven't even talked about the workshop compatibility this game is gonna get.
Oh, we haven't.
That's gonna be crazy.
I alluded to it. I was like, hey, yeah, there's workshop coming up. So yeah, stay tuned for that. So wait, are we gonna talk about that now or?
Yeah, let's go
The
ahead and
Rivals
jump right
One
into
Killer?
it.
Oh
yeah.
my goodness, that's the clickbait title. Is
Yeah,
Rivals
hold on,
One
hold on,
dead?
I got the image. All right, so some people
Oh my
some people
god.
might have seen me show off this image last episode, in episode 8.
Oh
Yes,
my god.
Hungry Box Smash Killer face. Because the question is AFQM the Rivals One killer? And we're not even gonna lie to everybody. It has a good argument of possibly being just that. Because again, it's not often that you see a developer deliberately remove shields, ledges, and grabs from and take that as inspiration from a game that couldn't do that because of limitations, right? And just looking at like the surface of things, if and when Workshop gets added to AFQM, I'd argue it's going to be a lot easier for people to be able to add custom stick figure characters into the game than
It's like a yummy
adding
hustle.
than adding workshop characters into Rivals 1, because adding workshop characters into Rivals 1 is a very, very long and sometimes tedious process, especially if you have no idea how to code, no idea how to do pixel art and all of that. So for AFQM to have just the characters be simply stick figures, like anybody can draw a stick figure, right? And give them moves. Then it makes it a lot easier to draw out, for one, and two, depending on how they're gonna design their workshop tools, I'd imagine they want their workshop tools to probably be as beginner friendly as possible. So lots of people that want to add their custom stick figure character could do it with ease. And then for the more people who are more knowledgeable in game design and know how to code moves and all that, I hope that maybe they'll have tools for them too. That they want to try and change up the way that a move works, change the knockback, all of that. So I genuinely do think that Rivals 1 has something to possibly worry about here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they had a couple stick figures in Rivals One Workshop. So
Yeah.
those people that made all those characters.
Oh
are
my
probably just
god,
gonna
let's go! I'm a
import
fry
it
main.
over. So like, what was
Oh my
that
God,
one?
they might actually put Fry in.
Yes!
I
yes!
don't remember. I don't remember what the characters' names were, but I do remember they had the one character that fought with like a big magnet stick that was basically a fucking sword or staff, and then they had the yo-yo
Are
character.
you talking about Bar?
Yeah, that's him. Bar with 2 R's, and then they had
Yeah.
the yo-yo guy. Wasn't his name just Yo-Yo or some shit?
Yo.
He was pretty badass too.
Fry fought with a frying pan.
That's actually sick.
Like, that was my workshop main, but they never had him legal in that many workshop tournaments.
Dude, I
That
can't
made
Yeah,
me
wait
because
till we
sad.
it was unbalanced.
Yes,
We could
I know
get a-
he was unbalanced, but so are a bunch of other characters. But anyways, go on. Ty.
Yeah.
we could get a
Yeah.
quadruped stick figure.
Ooh. Let's go,
Stick bug.
Sylvanos.
Stick bug.
Stick bug. Oh,
Oh my
stick bug
God,
would be
Stick
crazy.
Bug.
Let's go stick Sylvanos.
Someone just make PM Ivysaur and just put him in a few quick matches, please, and then DM me and tell me, and then I'll be happy. I'll just be happy.
Another thing, like, that was a big con for like Rivals One Workshop. If you didn't want to do all that shit yourself, oh, guess what? You better have a lot of cash. Them shits costed like $800 at least.
Yep.
That's
For
chump
art
change for you
only.
though.
For art only.
Oh,
Or-
not even for coding. Ooh.
I asked people, and they were like, "Yeah, I can quote you for like $850." I was like, "I ain't got $850."
Didn't Astro
Not right
spend
now.
like $10,000
No, it
to
was
get
1,000.
Blair made?
It was
No, not
It was
10K.
1,000?
Not
It was
10K.
1,000.
Oh my God.
Okay.
If it was 10K, Astro wouldn't even be worrying about stuff like that.
No, 10K is probably how much the devs could pay like any of the runner-ups again. But no, that was 5K. It was half that. So maybe they'll put that towards 2 of the runner-ups if they ever consider adding them. But I digress. But yeah, Astra did spend 1K to make what's the character's name? It wasn't Glare.
Luna.
Luna,
Luna.
yeah, to make Luna.
Yep.
And then we got her in Marvel Rivals. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my god.
Woo! Funny enough, a bit of a derail. I think I'd seen a tweet saying like if you can get Luna and Rivals 2 like on Workshop, they would just they're like a bounty for that or something like that. I don't remember off the top of my
Oh
head,
my
but I just thought I was
God.
just like, oh my god, that's hilarious.
Well, that's one way to get Skeptic into the game.
True.
But anyways, but yeah, no, like, and then a few quick matches does Workshop. I'd imagine if you wanted to pay somebody to do this shit yourself, it'd probably be way more affordable.
hmm
Honestly, with a little bit of experience, you could probably end up doing it
You
yourself.
just do it yourself. But if you have money,
Exactly.
if you have money, fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Outkast, we're not you, bro. We don't have 17 Lambos.
All right.
Come on now.
Well, speaking of which, I got a 10 to that.
Yeah, you have a butler too, don't you? Come on now.
Oh,
You
yeah,
don't have to do it
totally.
yourself.
He doesn't have to do anything.
Also, one other thing I should probably mention, and I've been kind of like doing and training with in the background, just messing around. Most of the recent patches also were for like optimizations for like controls. So I hadn't played this game for like a few days or so, right? Because I've been doing my other things. The game feels a lot smoother now than it did on release. And if this keeps up, it might actually be one of the best controlling games ever for quad fighters.
Okay.
Yeah, when it first released, even though it was a little bit clunky, it mostly felt really good. I was very surprised.
Skeptic, I'd suggest giving it a little try now.
Oh, yeah, I should
You
actually.
know,
Let
the
me boot it
game
up.
AFQM came out August 5th, right?
Yep.
So
Yeah.
just a little bit after you. It's this game is not even 2 weeks old yet, and
Yeah.
the devs are already making sure there's like optimization, fixes. They're just moving quickly.
Yeah.
They're really responsive as well.
FAQ. What if I want to run this game on my toaster? You can with the power of an added potato.
Definitely can. This game is not intensive at all.
Mhm.
Shit, whoops.
Actually, that brings me another question. What engine was used to make AFQM?
Game
Like, what
Maker
game engine?
Studio.
Okay, because
Which is
we all know
very
Rivals 1 was
confusing
also
about.
out of Game Maker, so I'm
Rivals
interested to
1
see
was
what'll
Game
happen.
Maker. Rivals 2 is Unreal Engine.
Yeah. So that'll be interesting to see because there were a lot of like game maker
Pretty sure
specific
it was Game Maker
limitations
Studio.
that the rival like Aether Studios couldn't really tackle that well in game maker. So I'm curious to see how the AFQM devs will handle some of those limitations in game maker as well. But yeah, there's that, and then we haven't really talked about this at all. But some of the Rush Rev mechanics that are in AFQM are mainly burst and like move.
Oh shit. Well, damn, bro. I died in Discord. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Whoops. That's my B.
All good.
No, you're good. You're good.
Anyways, go on. What were you saying?
Or I was just saying that some of the Rush Rev mechanics, like burst and like spark canceling, well, it's not exactly called spark canceling AFQM. We do see those two things, and at least from what I saw, according to Rollin, who was one of the top kid mains in Rushdown Revolt in the past, Rush Rev used to just be as simple as that, right? It was just like one specific burst and spark canceling. Nowadays, Rush Rev has four different bursts. It still has spark canceling, and then there's a lot of game balancing still going on with the remaining devs that are on the team. But we got a little bit of AFQM gameplay.
Yeah, no, I just have it in the background.
Yeah, just as a bit of entertainment.
But
Kind
yeah,
of see the idea of what you can kind of do. I'm not as good at it as like the top players, but I'm like, okay.
or I found out that Nox Bird can be controlled like Ellie Missile.
Yep. So
Yeah.
I'll just throw it out after the cooldown.
So I'd imagine that if an Ellie main wanted to get into this game, then
Oh
they'd
yeah, no,
have,
this
they'd
is
have that
definitely a
idea.
character for Ellie mains for sure.
It even has mine, kind of. But
Yeah.
It's straight up mine.
I think
This is
I think it's
just
better.
it's Snake.
It's straight up better
This
than
stays
Salt Mine.
on. It does blow up after a certain amount of time, like automatically. I don't remember the exact time. Right, see, right there,
I think it's like 6 or 7 seconds.
like 6 or 7 seconds. But yeah, missile, mine, kind of like arrows, and then if you charge it up, it's a lot stronger. And then you have Cypher. They did change this move a little bit. It now has like a gauge. Before it used to just be like a set amount of time. Now it's just kind of like Rob's up special.
Yep.
So
It's a
just
nice
stuff like
adjustment.
that.
Oh wait, we moved on from the workshop topic, right?
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
basically briefly.
I just want to
saying the workshop
briefly
stuff.
say this though. Now this game and the community can deal with Cosmic Ronald McDonald and Mario pissing
No, my
in
God.
the workshop. Thank
All right,
you.
listen. I wouldn't even wish the joke characters on this game if I'm being so
You
honest.
know what's gonna happen, and it's gonna happen in R2. Anyways, yeah, Rush Rev.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I have to say about like the Rush Rev aspects of this game. But overall, which is funny because there is definitely a spark canceling mod in Rivals Workshop. So if you wanted to play Rivals 1 like that,
I
and you
do love L canceling in like one of my favorite competitive games.
Yes. L air canceling.
Alright, but
Yeah, what else?
I
we
think
got?
I think this is a good point to move on to, like where a lot of people are supporting AFQM, but where was the same support for Rush Rev and Rivals 1? Because, as we've been saying, AFQM clearly takes a lot of inspiration from those two games. No, I do want to say this real quickly. I don't know if a dev can confirm or deny that, but from what we see, it's clearly that there's inspiration from Rivals 1 and Rush Rev. But that aside, where's the support for those two games? We can start with Rush Rev because Outkast, I know, I know you want to go on a tangent about Rivals 1 again, so we'll save that for last. But yeah,
Who wants to start? Because like
I mean,
we know why that game did not work out. All of us in here in the call. But
yeah,
yeah.
well, okay, before we get to the main crux of like why Rush Rev didn't pop off, I know some of the complaints were it's like readability of the characters, like it's hard to follow and see what was going on.
yeah, that's
Do
number
you guys
one.
still think that that is an issue that they have today?
I
Yes.
personally do. Yes.
Yep.
Now the problem was when I was getting into Rush Rev, you know, and friends were telling me about it. I was like, "Oh, is that Icons game?" Because I loved Icons. I unironically, let the record show, I unironically did enjoy Icons a lot. Now I just played a lot of Afigalu, but you know, just let the record state the only creative fucking character in the game. But I did unironically
Well,
enjoy
we got
Icons.
Torment.
Yeah, we do have, but that was not an Icons. But and I love me some Torment. I love me some Torment and Rush. That
Skeptic
shit
also loves
is
Torment. Don't you,
yeah.
Skeptic?
No thoughts said empty shit.
Oh
But
my goodness.
before he even got in, you know, friends were just like, "Oh, bro, you gotta play it." And I'm watching. I'm like, "Dude, what the fuck is going on? I don't even know what's going on. I can't even understand what's going on. Is that a move?"
Bro, I know what's going on. You're chain grabbing me, you piece of shit.
He's crushed up. So, but like doing just your aerials, I'm like, it doesn't make any sense to. And like when you first see it, and then they were like, you just got to play it for a little bit. I'm like, well, that's a terrible statement that I have to play it to understand what's going on. Whereas, like, you know, when Mario's jumping in the air and he's coming at you like this and he's hitting you, you know you're about to get hit with a forward air, or if he's doing a backflip, that's up air. So the readability, I still think, is an issue. And as far as like I don't really have an answer for like Rivals 1, but I think for this game, one thing that is just a huge appeal is how simplified it looks because of the stick figures, but it's also super nostalgic. No matter the age range, everyone has seen like the stick figure anime movie fighting videos on YouTube.
Stick figure fighting. Yeah.
Yeah, all that shit. Like I come from the Newgrounds era. I'm an old fart, but like I remember all the stick figure fighting games. I remember all the DBZ movies that were on there where it was just the stick figure with like Vegeta or Goku's hair, or it was green and hey, that's Piccolo. You know, I remember all those. So like it hits that nostalgia for me. And then playing it, I'm like, oh, this feels like Rivals. And then I rush cancel and I'm like, this feels like Rush Rev. This is actually super fucking sick. So that's what made me come to the game and why I like it a lot. And I think that's probably an appeal for most people. The nostalgia, probably because everybody knows about stick figure and they've all seen it at some point in time.
Right?
Yeah. Anybody else see any other like criticisms that you guys have about Rush Rev? Shadow, I know one of your criticisms about Rush Rev was the spark mechanic being kind of akin to L canceling.
Like I despise any mechanic that forces me to effectively, not necessarily time it, but spam it to get the most out of it. Melee is notorious for this in the form of L canceling.
No, but that's what makes it. That's what makes it good. That's the skill.
God. Not even skillful. It's just a mandatory roadblock, and that's my main problem with Melee. It has a lot of mandatory roadblocks for you to understand in order to properly play the game. If you play certain characters, because there are plenty of characters in that game that don't need it. I mean, just look at Puff.
True.
But the thing about it is, like, it's so hyper specific because of how old it is. And mind you, it gets away with it because of how old it is. It doesn't get away with it because it's novel. Well, I mean, it is, but it isn't. You get what I'm saying? But like, if someone were to make a game that copied Melee 1-for-1, including its control scheme, people would hate it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know I certainly would. But because Melee is that old, it gets a pass and effectively requires you to use specific controllers to cheat the system, essentially.
And you also got training systems like Uncle Punch that like that also help you out if you didn't have.
It also really doesn't help that a lot of like people in the Melee community, like I guess it's like a vocal minority, is what I want to call it because that's what it feels like. Just are so adamant about keeping these restrictions in. Because I remember there was a whole argument with like UCF and stuff like that, you know. And I was just like, why would you actively vote against something to make things easier for people? Because not everyone wants to break their hands. I'm not spending $1,000 plus A on a new controller and B to go to the doctor because of hand problems.
Oh,
that's why.
Oh, please, that's misinformation because we all know it would be even more expensive to go to the doctor.
Oh my god, true.
Funnily
Oh my
enough,
God.
that's why some Melee players put NASB 1 down. Besides, the terrible release of it, they were like, "This game's too fucking quick. Like, I'm gonna destroy my hands." Like Axe, who has one of the highest APMs in Melee, he was like, "Bro, my hands are gonna explode if I do this." Meanwhile, Void, when he played, he just destroyed everybody. I will never forget the crew battle where he was mad that he didn't take like 25 plus stocks.
Oh my
because
god.
he was the last one, and I was like, "Why are you mad? Why are you mad?" It was crazy. But I guess my follow-up question towards Shadow is: do you feel like rush canceling is too related to L canceling?
Not as related. I think my other issue with like rush canceling and like Rush Rev was just it didn't feel accurate, if you know what I'm saying. Because mind you, I played Reyna in that game, and Reyna requires a lot of accuracy in order to like actually implement all of her combos and stuff. So on top of all the stuff I have to keep track of, there's also that, and if I'm off by even a slight bit, I will immediately drop my combo. And it is very easy to be off by a slight bit. So, like, it's kind of half skill issue, half just requires an insane amount of accuracy, because, like, I also played a Shani, who didn't require nearly as much accuracy and could definitely wallop you with a shit ton of rush cancels and other stuff. So it's kind of like half-half. That's why I'm like not as against the rush canceling in this game, because I think it's really accurate and it allows you to just like effectively. You don't have to like press it like 50 million times. You just have to time it really, and technically you don't even have to. Like I can just do this if I really wanted to.
Right.
It's up to me, and it's where I want to go. I can just choose not to. And then just say, okay, well, I want to take stage control. I have a big sword. I'm just going to take stage control, you know?
Yeah.
So it's really my choice versus it's mandatory, you know? I think in Rush Rev, it was mandatory, and I didn't like that.
Okay.
That was like kind of like how I felt about playing Rush Rev. I'm like, man, even though I play Raymer, if I wanted to pick somebody else up, this shit's gonna suck.
So you weren't comboing unless you were rush canceling. There was no other way you
Pretty
were
much, yeah. Like,
Yeah,
how you feel.
like,
I
in
was
most
with
cases, unless
Reyna.
Yeah, unless you were rush canceling, you were not comboing, especially with Reyna.
But
Because
Reyna specifically.
ton of end lag. It's kind of her balance to make sure that she doesn't just sit at zone and just throw out like Nair and Fair and all that stuff. Just throw it out. Like that was the balance. You couldn't do it, and you were stuck in a ton of end lag. So if you missed or you needed to do something specific, and you messed up, and you dropped that combo. Period.
Yeah. It's almost like Seth, how Seth has to play. Because he's slightly similar. He's not as much as Reyna, but definitely similar.
Well, the thing is, Seth doesn't really have as many dead zones. So you can kind of play up close if you really wanted to. Reyna, in order to play close, you needed to switch to her dagger stance. But the problem with that is you lose the range utility that you had. Like, you switch to dagger to kill people. That's really what it is. Like, you use chain to build a percent, dagger to kill people. But since it follows that tangent extremely strictly, you have to be just as strict and you know, and
Yeah.
my brain's having issues coming up with a word.
Precise.
Yeah, like precise,
Yeah.
but like stringent. You have to be stringent on with that strategy. You can't deviate. There's no flexibility.
Gotcha.
So
Less
yeah,
expensive.
that was my main problem, and rush canceling did not make it any better. Or
All right,
spark canceling.
Outkast, do you have anything else to add before I go?
No, that was pretty much like the problem I had is like, dude, I do not like having the need to spark cancel. That's kind of why I fucked with Raymer, because I didn't have to like, as much. But it was like, bro, I could see how this would fucking suck for everybody, for anybody else that like needs to do it. And it's like, again, agreeing with Shadow, I despise melee for like I have to L cancel. I literally argued with somebody like they hate parry in Rivals 1, right? But then I say, okay, I fucking despise L canceling. And then it's like my whole argument, and then like they're like, it was basically like, oh, you have to parry in Rivals 1. No, the fuck you don't. You could whiff your parry and still die. But you could also go an entire game bodying somebody without having the need to parry. You need to L cancel a melee, so I didn't even understand that comparison. So I also hate the elitism too. And it's like,
That's another problem, but that's a whole different like category.
But I associate it.
That,
Yeah, I associate L canceling with elitism. If I'm
yeah,
playing
like,
Rush Rev.
That's kind of like the whole Smash Brothers problem. Because like that doesn't just apply to like specific mechanics; it applies to everything. And it's actually insane. I would know. I've been a part of that before, where I would refuse to play any other game besides like Smash 4 because Smash 4 was just the game I played. I didn't think about any other games at the time.
But
it was only because like my friend wanted me to try other games because there were just like other games out there, and we were just doing it for fun. We weren't even like competing or anything. It was just fun, and we just branched out. That's why like before I jumped into Rivals, I was already well versed in other fighting games. Just some stuff like that, you know.
Yeah. So like, yeah, no, the elitism with like specific shit like that from Melee, and I see like a similar mechanic in Rush Rev, I'm like turned off.
Yeah.
It wasn't until like I said, you know what, fuck it, why not? Like, that's also why I fucked with Rivals 1 a lot. It's cause like, oh, I don't have this stupid fucking mechanic. And yeah, and then it was just an offshoot of like, you know what, whatever, screw it. I liked PM enough, and like I people worked on PM, worked on icons, and now it's Rush Rev. I was like, I might as well give it a shot. And I'm like, I still don't like this mechanic, but I still fucks with the game kinda. But yeah, that's basically what I had to. That's all I have for that. I guess Jazz is going.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the vocal minority with like I don't mind like spark canceling at all, and having to do that much with my hands, as crazy as that sounds, considering the number of times that I've been seeing with compression gloves on. I actually have them just chilling over here. These are my compression gloves. Like, on top of that, I play one of the hardest characters in the game in Kid because ha ha ha, I see Shine, I want to play Spacey. But that's why I also have Zhurong as a secondary. Because I guess in my mind it's like, oh, I guess this is kinda ish like Forsberg when I know it's like Marth with a Shine essentially and so much more. But I don't mind it largely because I didn't grow up with Melee. Ult was my first game, as I had to kind of work backwards into getting used to the technical stuff like wave dashing and jump cancel shining, all that. But when I did play a little bit of Melee with KD8, my mind completely forgot that I needed to L cancel starting out, and then I booted up the training thing, started to learn how to L cancel. I was like, okay, I guess I can get to this. But that is just me. Like, I can see the like argument as like why people don't like L canceling, because it's like an extra button that doesn't need to be pressed.
Yeah.
So doesn't need to be pressed and just feels like mandatory to be pressed, like you guys are saying. But that is just me. I do like, and I guess that's why I like hit falling a bit more, because I don't have to press an extra button, right? And I already want to move fast, right? Having hit falling at my disposal is like, oh, all I just have to do is just time my input correctly, and I get out of the end lag of my move a lot faster. No extra button input required, but either or, I don't really mind. I just like to experiment with plat fighters, because I just want to experiment more with them, pretty much.
Yeah.
But overall, we said some of like the problems that like a lot of people also said about Rush Rev, but one of the main ones, and I'm no expert on this at all. This is just what I've gathered from the community at all. The main problem with Rush Rev was the man behind it being Keiko. To keep things like a long story short, Keiko was not the greatest face for the game, and often ignored a lot of like the other devs and community members, just telling them to stop doing X thing and looking bad in front of like other people. Like, I do remember one time, I don't remember who he got mad at on Twitter, but I do remember like loosely seeing that, and people were telling him to just stop. And then this guy, flashback to like, I want to say Genesis 9. Yeah, Genesis 9, where Rush Rev was there. They had just announced Torment, and then the game was also at its high. And then all of a sudden the game goes back into beta for 4 months. It releases again in
I completely
May.
forgot about the fact
Yeah.
that it went into beta again. And just, that was such a stupid move.
It was
Ooh,
because
yeah, it just
like,
halted any momentum that it had left after, even after, like, especially after Keiko's shit.
some people already spent money on like certain
Remember,
things.
this
Like,
was during the DT days, so I was just like,
Yeah.
oh shoot, why is it going back in beta? Because we were just enjoying it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I had spent money on
Yeah.
it, and then when I tried to boot the game back up, and I was like, "Where's my skins?" And at one point, I think it was like I had to level my character up to unlock the skins that I already bought. And I think, if I might be wrong, but I remember not being able to play it or play the specific skins that I had bought, and I was like, "What the fuck?" And then later, I got it later. Or you could play the game for free offline, but if you wanted to play online, you had to pay. I was like, "What?
Yeah,
What does that mean?"
like,
Yeah.
what the hell does that even mean?
Yeah, so when the game released in like when was Genesis 9 again? I forgot, but point is the game released again in May. That was version 1.0, and it was released as try before you buy, essentially. But the price point was at $25, and a lot of people were not happy with that at all. And honestly, I think it's understandable. Like, the game had like no
Nothing.
like proper. Yeah, it had like nothing essentially when it re-released. It had like no
It didn't even. I don't even think it had trading mode.
proper rank anymore. No, it had training mode. It's like, no, there was no more rank. There was like no more casual matchmaking. It was just online. That's it, and you had to get matches via Discord.
Oh,
essentially.
that's
So,
what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. You essentially just got online access just for $25, and that hurt the game a lot as well. But yeah, do I blame people for not wanting to play Rush Rev given all that? No, I don't blame them. But you know what? I still have faith in this game, largely because I enjoy how it plays. I think 2021 or 2022, one of those years, I played the game when it was free to play for a little bit, kind of dropped it, and then when I went to SmashCon 2022, I saw it again. Cause it got a spot as like indie games. It got on like the top 4 or whatever. And I was like, wow, this game is amazing. Why did I stop playing this? And then I just started playing it again. But I've got so much faith in the current community right now that things can and will get better. And I want people to understand that Keiko has not been in charge of that game for a long while now. So if you please give Rush Rev another chance. One of the biggest things that people tell you to enter is Spark League. And huge props to Starman and Goofed for holding the fort down with Spark League. So it's an amazing ranked ladder for people to play in. It's on hiatus right now, but I know it'll be back. I want to say after August with season 6, if it does come back. But I do genuinely believe that Rush Rev did deserve better, and the people that are still left working on the game as volunteers, they're doing their best to try and fix things up. The last thing that I remember being told is that there would need to be another patch out before like there would be another Goose Funhouse, and Goose Funhouse is like, I guess you could call it like a quote-unquote online major, but you get a free skin for simply playing in it. You know, you get Funhouse skins on characters. The first one I entered, I got Funhouse Kid, and the second one, if you entered that, you got Funhouse Torment, and they both are modded skins that with the characters looking like clowns, essentially. So Rush Rev's past wasn't a good one, but the past is in the past, and right now I will advocate to hell and back for Rush Rev because I genuinely do enjoy the game.
Rebrand? What?
Nah,
Dude,
No, just stop. You're not cooking, brother. We're not doing this again.
I know.
does it need to come out on the Ouya?
It does.
I'm leaving.
But it's got so much
Rock steady.
bad shit from the other stuff that it's like, it's almost like if it was a rebrand, it would be better for them. But there's too much shit that's already gone into it, so it doesn't matter.
yeah.
You can't
Not
save
to
the game.
mention, I did try to run an online weekly for Rush Rev. It was called What's the Rush. This is like way back when the Dust Souls
like-
community server was called something different.
Yeah, no, this was like
At the time.
2022, 2023, right?
No, it's like 2023, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, it didn't pop off. I do really still want to run something for Rush Rev because I need a breath of fresh air from like rivals every goddamn week.
We'll get to that in a sec.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second, but
yeah,
it's always a pleasure trying to do stuff to help out if I can for Goofed and Starman, you know. And I know I haven't been entering Spark League as much because of school. Or believe me, I'm saying this right now, and I'm not gonna sleep on this for real this time. But once I graduate and Spark League is back, I'll be grinding Spark League. So it's a phenomenal thing put together by the community. But yeah, that's Rush. That answers the question for Rush Rev essentially. On to Rivals 1. Where on earth were the people that want for Rivals 1? You know,
I'm gonna let one of you guys go because I gotta go to the washroom real quick. I'll be back.
Oh wait, did Skeptic get to say anything about Rush Rev?
Oh, yeah.
Probably
Honestly, I don't think I have to. Y'all pretty much nailed everything.
Yeah, I knew it because like I would just have to bring up Torment, then he'll rant. But
yeah, that was his input.
Yeah.
That was his input. Torment.
but anyways,
You did take my joke, actually. I can't say... I'm leaving, bro. There's no reason I'm here. I don't have a reason to be here.
Hold on, no.
No, because
we're getting to roll 1, and one of you guys can go. I'll go
Yeah,
last.
Skeptic, you go first.
I'll be
Yeah,
back.
actually, that's a good point. So, Skeptic, I want you to start first with like, when did you start playing Rivals 1? About what year?
Ooh, I think I bought the game in early access. I'll have to check specifically.
Really?
Because Steam actually does tell you when you first initially bought the game. I bought it October 9th of 2015, so it was pretty
Okay, so
early on.
you're early access then. So walk us through your Rivals One journey, right? So what happened during early access? What made you stop playing the game, and then what made you come back to the game a little bit later in its lifetime?
I think what got me into Rivals was mainly through Smash. Smash was my first platform fighter. I think it was specifically Smash 4 on the 3DS. And I enjoyed the hell out of that, and I was like, yo, plat fighters are actually pretty sick. So I think I saw it either on Twitter or YouTube that Rivals was coming out, and I was like, dude, this game looks so cool. There's a fire lion and a little water whale puppy thing. Sure, I'll try this game out. It's 8-bit. The music is nice. I played it for a couple of months, and I think the breaking point for me wasn't necessarily the gameplay. Someone online was just kicking my ass that day, and I was like, this game is mashy. It's just a masher's paradise. The netcode is terrible. Why am I playing this game? I just quit.
Especially back then, because it was delay based back then.
It was delay based, yeah.
You really had to read your opponent.
So it was just so clunky, and I didn't like the online that I didn't really have the competitive drive to keep playing the game. I had no incentive, and there wasn't that many characters out either that really suited me at the time, even though I really loved Zetterburn because he felt like Wolf. So I was just like, yeah, this game ain't it. So I was literally so salty that day. I don't know who that player was that made me quit the game. You fucking did it though. I literally blocked Dan. I didn't want to hear any news from Rivals, so I quit for like around 2 to 3 years. I never wanted to hear the game or touch the game again.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, so literally I was just done. I was so pissed off that I was just done with the game. I was like, fuck it, whatever. This game sucks. So then I'm like, okay. Around 20, I think 18 or 19, I felt bored of there wasn't a lot of fighting games I was really playing at the time besides Guilty Gear Rev 2. And I was like, man, I kind of want to get back into plat fighters again. So I wanted to go back to R1 just to see what was different, just a little bit. But there was a lot more characters, but it didn't feel good enough for me to stay until I forgot which update it was, but it was the rollback update. And I was like, yo, wait, this game is getting rollback? You know what? Let me try to pick this game back up again.
Was it the first rollback announcement or the second one?
Yeah,
I think it was the first one. Yeah.
Oh god.
So when that got announced, I was like, wait, yo, I might pick up this game again. So when I saw that I was getting rollback, I was very surprised by how much the game felt a lot better from when I first initially played. Like the wave dashing, the movement felt better. There was way more characters. There was more variety. There was more to do. I was like, wait, okay, it's kind of fleshed out. And I ended up liking the game. I was like, what the fuck? All this time, I literally thought, man, this game blows ass chunks. Like, it's just hella mashy. I can't do anything. It's overwhelming. And I still do think that the game is a little bit overwhelming at times. But I think it's negated by the fact that the execution and the overall movement feels just really nice. Like, I love moving around in that game. Like, I've never felt a plat fighter that felt so good to just move around in. I still think, this could be a hot take, I think Rivals 1 is still the best in terms of, like, movement feel. Like, I just want to hop into training mode and just wave dash, dash dance, plat boost. Like, there's so many fun movement options that it never feels like you truly mastered movement. And especially with the different weight classes and different characters and how they move around, and then you add in specials along with it, it feels like a movement sandbox that you can just keep endlessly improving on. And I think that's something that AFQM is not necessarily there yet, since it's only a month in,
Give him
but I
2
feel like
months.
over time we'll get there. Yeah,
Give him 2
I
months.
think it'll
at this
get
rate.
there. So I think overall, I was just very surprised that.
Oh my fucking
Oh
god!
my
Shadow.
I
god!
just saw
Wait.
that was disgusting.
That's actually so good.
That was disgusting.
I'm leaving.
No, you can't leave on that.
We're ending the podcast on
true
that
at
one.
all.
Oh
We're not
my
even getting the rest of our
goodness.
thoughts. We're just ending the pod on
Wow.
that one. Exclamation point Spotify! Exclamation point
True. You know what? You know
Yeah,
what? You're,
Peep-
you're so right. You're so
Peep
right.
my new vid.
Sub, yep. Follow, rate 5 stars. We'll see y'all next week, folks.
That's
Buy the
fine.
game,
buy the
game.
That was fucked up. Anyways,
My
keep going.
bad, Skeptic. Continue.
No, you're good. That was awesome, actually. Holy shit. But no, like, just to wrap it up, like, I literally thought when R2 was announced, I was like, yo, fuck R1. It's too overwhelming. I can't play this game. I just get my ass beat. Fuck Drift DI.
Oh
And then
my
once I
God.
touch R2 in the beta, I was like, wait, we need to go back.
We need to go
We need to turn the ship around. This is not good. This is not good.
You look back and everyone was like, "What'd you say? Fuck me for?"
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, you know what? I apologize. That was my bad, Chief.
No,
Because I've
I have two.
ranted about R2 for so long, but yeah, I think R1 is actually, if anyone is interested, it is worth a try. And especially playing a game like AFQM, if you're interested in like their inspirations, definitely try out R1.
Yeah.
All right. You know what, Tech? Why don't you go next? Cause you were a person who was a part of like the earlier parts of the community and like to make content back then, which we've said this off stream before, but we all agreed that the lack of content was one of the reasons why that Rivals 1 kind of struggled. And we're talking about more than just like combo videos and highlights and all that.
And
We're
tournament
talking about, like,
bonds, yeah.
we're talking about like character guides, other content as well, like that's informational, educational, or just like fun to watch, right?
Yeah.
I was
So why
surprised there
don't
wasn't a
you-
lot of like react videos, like of like different character trailers or like streams. Like, there wasn't a lot
Hi.
of that.
Hi, that's me. That's me. Hi. how
Yeah,
you doing?
besides you, literally
me.
besides
What's
you.
up? How's it going? That's
The
me.
funny thing about the reaction trailers was like, oh my goodness, that didn't start becoming a thing. The trailers themselves didn't start becoming a thing until Ori's release.
True.
And even then, it was like minimalized. Clarion was the first one to actually have a full-blown trailer.
That was GTX. I remember that.
Yeah, GTX.
GTX.
God.
That's where the infamous introducing now coming for Melee Pulp. I was like, who the fuck is Pulp? But you know, Plump. But anyway, yeah, I've been around since the beginning. I don't know what direction you want me to take this in, Jazz, but I mean, in terms of like,
Well, I guess my
where-
question. I don't mean to interrupt. I guess my question is this: What made you stop making content for Rivals 1 essentially? Because
oh boy,
Oh,
I know.
Yo, I'm already laughing.
I know about your competitive journey for the most part. You were played Crag, eventually swapped over to Hodan, found Hodan a lot more fun to play with.
yeah.
Was able to take names in your region with Hodan as well.
Let's not
so-
forget the time you played Rano too, sir.
I did. Yeah. I played Rana for a short amount of time. I played Shovel Knight for a very short amount of time because that was my original Clarion counter pick. But just as like a preface, I came from Smash 4 as well, and basically, I'd seen it on Smash boards for people that remember that site, and I was like, "Yo, that shit's sick." And at the time, I was like trying to reach out to Dan because I was like, dude, I want to play this game before it comes out, man. What can I do? I was like, oh wait, they're a small indie game. I'm a small YouTuber. We should like come. I'm like, that's looking back. I'm like, you're an idiot, bro. You had like 600 subs. What's wrong with you? Well, you're stupid. Like, there's no exposure there. And the main reason I like fully dove in to Rivals, I remember the specific set. It was after Cloud came out, and it's like release Cloud. It was just busted and terrible. And I was getting camped out by a Cloud that was constantly just doing meter, and then like he was plat camping, and I was playing Pikachu, and I was trying to catch him, and then like I would just get hit by a big fucking sword because his Pikachu's hurt box is extended, and then I get hit with shit, and him camping, I'll never forget it. I don't remember the fucking player's name, but he went, man, that was a tense set, guy. And I was like, no, it wasn't. I was like, you ran away for 8 minutes, bro. This was fucking boring as shit. And after that, I just never looked back. I just went and played Rivals and then never looked back. In terms of content, that was just it all started where me and my main training partner, Lackey, were playing. And I was like, bro, we should just record. Like, I have these clips and shit of us like doing dumb shit, and we were so bad. I was like, we should just record some sessions and just upload them. And it was like from my laptop with its super loud fucking fan. I think we're using the laptop mic as well. Or no, I had a Snowball, but it did not have noise canceling at all. And I had started with like 5 videos. In the meantime, we were doing Rivals tournaments at my local scene, and someone else was recording those, and they were uploading it to like our main scenes, like YouTube. And when I had seen the numbers go up around like the same time, it was one of them got like 10K views, and it was one of our local dudes that was playing Edalus. And everyone was like shitting on him in the comments, saying like, he doesn't know how to jump cancel, dude doesn't know how to parry, why are you just only rolling, bro doesn't understand what a wave dash is, you know. And that boosted in the algorithm. But after I made those, I had said there's got to be other shit that we can do, and we didn't have anything. We had rollback netcode, or we didn't have rollback netcode yet. It was all delay based. At the time, we didn't even have story mode yet. So I think we had gotten custom colors before story mode, if I remember correctly. And the first like thing for what funny content could we do is we used a random number generator for a character, and we would get the random colors, put it on the character, and fight. And some of them were so fucking ugly. And then later they had trailers, so I wanted to react to trailers. I was streaming it all the time anyway. And then I had like a short couple guides on there. I had a story mode section that I had done because I played it super quick and then just uploaded them basically raw. But the reason why I stopped making content for it was like it wasn't beneficial in terms of like, at first people wanted to see stuff, and most of the people that were watching it because of me. And the only reason I say that it's not an ego thing is because I originally the first competitive game that I played was Transformers, and it was a shooting game. So most of the people that were watching it were like, oh, this game's cool, but it's, you know, it's not like Transformers or whatever. And then I noticed that like the Rivals people that were originally commenting, it had stopped because they lost interest. And then after, you know, views get so low, you know, it kind of kills your motivation. And people didn't want to watch videos anyway. I would post the stuff in like the Reddit. I would post stuff in the Discord. And some people were like, I'm not fucking watching that. What the fuck? Like, your thumbnail says it all, idiot. Or, no, that video is too long. I'm like, bro, it's only 8.5 minutes. What are you on right now? So then I was making like shorter stuff to see if it would retain like viewership. And I was doing like custom colors inspired by characters. So they had like Fire Mario, Yoshi Rano, all that stuff. And then we had, this is when modding was like super big before, like through Game Banana, way before Workshop had come out. So I had done like Shovel Knight, Crag, and there was like an Ori skin that was like the witch at the final boss of like Shovel Knight or whatever. So I was doing a couple of those, and then those were doing okay. But it was still like, over time, it was like Adam Caro was making videos, Alpharad would do one every now and then. And then other people were like, well, yeah, so I wrote this document. I'm like, why don't you just make it a video? It's a lot easier than reading this shit for like 3 fucking hours. But everybody still loves writing their goddamn documents, and people love like reading, whereas like you could just make the video and it would just work better. And I don't mean to like just rant about the whole content creation thing, but it was a combination of like, it took too long to like record and edit and all that stuff. I had other shit I had to do. The payoff wasn't there. Not that I'm trying to make money from it anyway, but it was like, it almost felt like the Rivals community didn't even want content. They just only wanted to play, only wanted to get into VC. And like at that time, the Reddit wasn't even that active anymore. Like there was legit one time, I think it was like the hot post or top post or whatever the hell it's called. I had posted a video, and then like 4 or 5 days later, I made another one, and I posted that link in there as well. And it was only like maybe 2 or 3 posts apart. Whereas beforehand, you would have a shit ton of posts all the time. But I do feel like there was a lot of like there wasn't enough creativity for content. Like there was a lot of shit that people could do, but then also I would do semi-creative stuff, but it was super niche, and there wasn't like the viewership wasn't exactly there. Like you can go back in patches in Rivals 1 through like their beta systems, but there's patches you cannot access. And I was obsessed with Maple Drill. If anybody knows me in the Rivals community, you know I love Maple Drill. And it only lasted for 3 weeks, but I love that fucking move. And I figured out a way to go back in the patches and do it myself. And then I was like, well, I need to put this information out there because this is like historical. What if there's people out there that are working on a documentary? And there was some people working on the documentary, but then a bunch of other shit happened, and then that stopped. And I talked to some people that were like, hey, you know, I really appreciate that you did this method. You know, we're trying to work on some shit here and there and blah, blah, blah. And then some things happened in the background that I don't know the full story of. But there just didn't feel like there was enough interest in watching content to watch because the gamers just wanted to game. And they wanted their cool combo videos. But, like, cool combo videos isn't getting people into the game. I mean, it can. But sometimes people are like, I don't know what the fuck's going on or whatever. But there wasn't, it looked cool. And yes, you could say it was entertaining, but it wasn't like entertaining in terms of like how other videos are like formatted or whatever. Like there's a story involved. There is an end result that you're trying to get to. And then this is why you're invested in the video. Whereas the combo video is like, all right, what's the next combo? What's the next combo? What's the next combo? And then, all right, video over. Cool music, cool edits. That's it. I'm not shitting on anybody that made the edits. They did way fucking better than I could ever do. But I felt like there wasn't enough content for the bigger picture to keep people more involved. And that just kind of sucked ass. And I mean, I tried everything under the sun. And I was a small dude at the time. So it didn't make fucking sense for me to continue to do it. But, you know, when you had top players that didn't want to stream or you know some of you couldn't stream and that's okay, but some of the top players that didn't stream or you know make content when you just had access to, or you're like, yeah, I'm gonna just fucking stream, just no mic, no cam for fucking 3 hours and just do this even though it looks immaculate and great, but then you didn't want to push yourself because you didn't have that, and then later you're gonna bitch and complain and moan and whine about why is Rivals 1 dead. That's your fucking answer, because you didn't do stuff to keep it involved. That's why. That's just why. Sorry.
Man, I feel attacked.
But bro,
No,
there were so many times where I was like, why aren't they doing it? But like, some of the old school players, they had made content. You know, D-Brick was making content forever ago.
Yo, Evo champion.
Yes. Arcanine had made videos way back when.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like highly edited stuff, but you know, he didn't have access to a lot of things. But he was doing shit that like people didn't even really start implementing into their gameplay until like 4 or 5 years later. Like he was ahead of his time, and he did some like crazy shit.
Everyone agree with that.
Yeah. So, but then it was like, I don't want to say like the new gen, but it was just like a lot of the other people. It was like the small minority was making content, and then the other people that arguably had more notoriety weren't. And that was like super depressing because it could have gone somewhere. And yeah, sure, maybe it's not all on them. You know, maybe it's like that's not their cup of tea and it's not their responsibility. But if you're going to sit there and say, I've done everything I can possibly do to keep the scene alive and do stuff, you didn't. Because if you did, we'd be talking about a whole different topic right now instead of this one. So, you know. No shade, but also shade at the same time. I don't know if that answers all the questions, but
no,
that's my rant.
That's good because there you'll see what I'm gonna do here at the end. Shadow and Outkast, you two were more so the competitors. Shadow, I want to start with you. What made you like stop competing like halfway through the RCS seasons?
A few reasons. Namely, at the time I was in college, so I was kind of like super busy. And then it was just before the rollback patch hit, where there was just a lot of just lag, and my computer just couldn't handle the game anymore. So that was kind of like a double whammy. I'd stopped for like a few years before coming back.
Yo, run them nines.
Yeah, towards the Run the Nines era with CDN the third. That's where I met Outkast. And from there, it was just like a lot of just like close knit games. I came back in the form of Workshop because I'd enjoyed Workshop at the time, and I was just like, oh, that seems like a fun little thing to do here and there. And then slowly but surely getting my competitive spirit back. So I came back into Basecast. It was also like the release of the Workshop 4 that kind of like sped run it. So it was just like, oh, I want to try out these new characters. So originally I had tried out Palm out of the 4 before Olympia because I was just like, oh, this seems pretty cool. She seems like a pretty cool character, and I played against her a lot in Workshop because Sinnoh at the time mained her. So it was just like a lot of just like, okay, this feels like familiar ground. Maybe I could just try it out. And I had a little bit of success with it. It wasn't like anything resounding, but it was like, okay, like, but then towards the final season of RCS, it was to prove a point. Every time I get good with a character, it's to prove a point. And Olympia at the time was being super downplayed. And I was just like, there's no way this character's bad, right?
Right.
And little did I know that would start the 1-year trek of just me trying to get good at this rat. Because I remember one of my main issues I had at the beginning was, my god, this character's neutral is basically non-existent. Mm-hmm. So, with a little help from everyone in DT, plus Plushy Panic, who you know as the really good Hodan main, a year passes, suddenly I'm one of the best players with this character. And I'm just like, huh. That is not what I expected to happen, but I will definitely welcome it. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, I live. Sorry, I'm a little bit distracted. This set is a
No,
little
you're
tense.
good. And we don't need to get like too far into this, but I know another one of the reasons why you left earlier in like the community was like issues with the community as well.
Yeah. So towards the beginning half, season 1, season 2, if I'm sure Tech, you've heard of this already. You know of a crew named Neo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was something. They honestly, I'm gonna put it how it was. There was literally just a bunch of unsupervised children or like man children who just went around being toxic. Now, don't get me wrong, not everyone in Neo was toxic. There's still plenty of awesome people from there. But it was just to a point where it was just like, wow, they really are just being a bunch of dicks.
The loudest ones.
Like, they're being the loudest ones. Yeah, and I'm just like, wow. And this also showed a fault in, like, community management, too. Because nobody would do anything about it. And this would carry on into Vibe, even though I wasn't around for that time period. So it was just like, wow, this is really just super toxic. And mind you, around the time I'd initially gotten good, I definitely got a lot of backlash. Because I did stream at the time. It was just like viewer games. I was just like, oh, this seems fun. I'll just do viewer games because like I'm riding off the high of like my run at RCS in November where I got fifth with just Solarano.
Yeah.
So I'm riding off the high, and there was just a lot of just like directed anger towards me, specifically towards my character, but also towards me. I was just like, okay, that's a little not cool, but I didn't really care too much at the time because I could absolutely prove myself. You know, like everyone would try to like go my character, and I would just like win 9 times out of 10. So it's just like, okay, well, this I mean, yeah, I agree. Rano is stupid, but at the same time, like, trying to prove a point against me by going the character I know how to play is never gonna help you. Trust me. You will not win. Unless you are actually can make a point that you are, in fact, better than me at this character, you will not win. Just take it like that. And at the time, this included Penguin, who was just like, really, I don't know. It was like a minor rivalry, but it was more like just because Penguin was always someone I ran into in like ECS and NCS to try to like compete for like top placement, and I always lost. Like I have a consistent losing record to her. But it's just a matter of like, okay, well, I'm just getting outplayed, stuff like that, you know. And then comes the time of just like me not being able to compete, me getting frustrated with just like a lot of my bad placements. And on top of all that, college, I was just like, okay, look, I'm not gonna deal with all these issues, frustrate myself anymore. I'm gonna take a break. And it didn't, it wasn't until I ended up getting a new computer that I was able to come back, because I was actually able to run the game properly. So it was just, and then you kind of know the rest from there. I kind of told it as it was. Went in through CDN the Third's dojo system, which I kind of wish was brought back. It's sad to see how it went out.
I kind of want something like that, but it's like,
I don't.
This is a bitch to set up
for pulling out, especially with what happened to cause that. TLDR, a player was just actually, you know more about this than I do.
Yeah, no, I don't want to get into it. Just player being shithead and ruin.
Like player being a shithead, essentially. I'm just doing the TLDR version, and just absolutely ruined any chance from that community to go into that side. I was just like, wow, that really did suck.
They play it here and there, but it's like, yeah, very low key. But yeah.
What did the dojo system consist of?
You have to.
What is it?
You have to. It's a first to 9. That's why the name. That's why it's called Run Them Nines.
That's why we call them Run Them Nines. The goal was you had belts, right? Like different belts, kind of like karate and like other martial arts.
Yeah.
Your goal was to play enough games to essentially make a placement, and then you would fight someone that's like one belt above your placement to try to advance. But the stipulation is you had to lose no more than 3 games.
Oh, okay.
It is fucking brutal.
Yeah, it is brutal. And I know
hilarious.
a time where I have both gotten denied from promotion and have denied other people, including me and Outkast, with just denying each other.
That shit.
Fucking hell.
We'll get it. We'll talk about that next time. We're running out of time.
I think that's a fun little topic to like bring up as a side topic for another episode. But basically, that was the system. I honestly like the system because it promoted like actual
competition,
improvement, and competition. So it was just really fun at the time to just do something like that. And it's sad that it went out.
That sounds like a really cool idea that, honestly, I might run that across Hylia, because Hylia's been trying to, like, think of ways to get more people to matchmake in Lifelight. I'm gonna run that idea by him, and honestly, that is something that I would love to do if I had more help in the Dust Souls community server. But yeah, to end things off here, Outkast, you talked about like videos about your Rivals 1 journey before, but do you want to sum that up real quick?
Okay, so I'll try to be brief because we also got one last thing, but like no, piggybacking a bit off of Tech, a bit, and Shadow. Yeah, crazy, I know, right? With the whole content creation thing, all right, I can only think of like possibly 3 people like streaming this shit, the streaming Rivals 1, this fucking shit, like consistent. That isn't just Rivals Casino. It was me, Torque, and Max Hacks for Snacks. Where are y'all at? We're the only ones streaming. I feel like just by default. It's funny too,
because like towards the end of like Rivals' lifespan, so like the last season, because one other thing, like everyone knows that it ran by seasons, and because Rivals 2 is releasing, that season was supposed to be the last one, which also was another downfall, but that we'll get to that later, if at all. Cake started streaming towards the end, and funny enough, people were just growling to it. Like it was the flashbang stream, and I was just like, oh my god, that's freaking funny. Like, and King was good enough to do it too. Like he is the best player, so he was able to just like
Forceman rewards good players.
Oh my god. He was just able to run through a tournament while getting randomly flashbang, like the Counter-Strike flashbang. And I was just like, what the fuck? This is so stupid. Like, this proves that we just have like very low attention spans. Because another thing that like kind of focused in that was just like the jingling keys. I was just like, oh my god, we really are just puppies, aren't we? But yeah, no, like, oh, also, another prominent streamer before all the final season stuff was BioBurb.
Oh yeah, that's true. Not a lot of people were pulling for that guy too.
Bio and Full Stream were. I remember Bio and Full Stream being like two of the most consistent streamers when I first started watching the game.
I remember a timeline of Bio, Full Stream, Dolphin Brig, Adam Kara, LBO.
Yep. Oh my god, that was the best era for just content creation in general. And then once the final season started happening, like all those people started leaving, moving on with their own lives, and then did nothing. Like we had fun content, but it was mainly aimed at workshop.
Yeah, if you wanted the views, you did workshop videos. That's what it was.
But and there was really nothing for Basecast anymore, and I feel like that was like half the problem too. Like once the final patch came out, there really was just nothing. I think people just got kind of sick of it over time.
I think also like just to continue, like again, the 3 people that are left streaming Rivals 1, where the fuck is everybody at? Because like I feel like just by default, like we should at least like one of us getting double digits, like at the bare minimum. Dude, I literally got more streams or more viewership just by playing Final Fantasy X and Kingdom Hearts 2. That's fucking pathetic, and I'm like basically like a mid-high level player at this point. And it's like, bro, where the only time I ever I remember hitting double digits on my own and doing and not streaming a tournament or a tourney run was when I was trying Framemakers and a lot of Rivals 1 players coming out the woodwork telling me this game's shit. Bro, what? Why? I remember getting 20 viewers on my own with Framemakers. And that that stuck with me. I'm like, bro, like what why? Why can't you guys pull up like when somebody else is like when there's like literally 0 people playing this shit and it's like, oh, we should just be winning by default. Is like my whole thing.
Timeline.
Huh?
Saddest timeline. It was the saddest timeline.
Yeah.
There was a time where this was on like whenever I was blowing up on TikTok, but when I streamed Nasby, I had more viewers streaming Nasby 1 than I ever did playing Rivals 1.
Yep.
It was at 57. 57. And most of those people were from Nasby. That's crazy.
Yeah, and like you said it yourself, you weren't the best player either.
No.
And like
no,
this wasn't you like streaming a tournament either.
Yeah. I was just fucking around, just seeing if I could find any game breaking stuff. And then that's
why I got to say that. Fucking claps all around.
That brings us to another problem and fault with Rivals 1. Like once the season ended, like
y'all cried.
Oh my god, the devs themselves said this would be the final season.
Said
even though they said like, oh, they'll probably work more on Rivals 1. I feel like we as a collective, like everyone in the community collectively knew that was it.
Except for a handful of people, me and a couple other people, but I'll get to my portion in a moment. But continue, Shadow.
It was just a matter of just like, that's the final season. They wanted to focus more resources on Rivals 2. Therefore, Rivals 1 only got like smaller updates. And to follow up on Jazz was saying, like, she's still been working on stuff for Rivals 1 recently, but not everyone else has. There have been few other standouts, but the problem is like there's not enough there's not enough information being spread because it's very small lined. But with the main incentive of the devs just no longer working on Rivals 1, a lot of people just thought, okay, it's pretty much over, you know? Like, they're going to focus their efforts on Rivals 2, even though they say they're going to work on Rivals 1, they're not really going to work on it. They're just going to do, like, minor patches to make sure of server stability. Which, don't get me wrong, the server's still live, Workshop's still alive and well. But at the end of the day, it became a community effort, and
What community?
a lot of the top players... Exactly.
What
a lot
community?
of the top players of the community had already moved on. Like, they had moved on before the final season end. It was just a last hurrah at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, that's
We didn't get our
pretty
perfect
much...
sunset moment at Genesis, but that's a different.
Like, and yeah, it shouldn't be on the top players, but it's like it should be the responsibility, but it kind of low key is. Literally only one of you had to step up, and like prop other people in the scene up and make it entertaining for the viewers. Like, and this is why, like, I consistently sling mud at Rivals 1. Because it's like, I got more out of 2 than I ever did in 1. This is why. Like, nobody pulls up in Royal 1. Nobody ever pulled up in Royal 1. And more people pull, like I usually get, like, somebody unique, at least, in this game. And like, it's why I want to stick around with this game, because I actually have locals and shit. I want to actively help my
Goop,
my
are you asking us what we think would cause Rivals 2 to blow up more, or do you like have an idea of what it would be?
But like, yeah, no, like, it's just me being salty, like honestly, and I honestly think I'm justified in this, because
fire away, Goofed. I'm actually curious on what you think on that.
While Goof is typing up, honestly, Shadow, I think
that's
we
all I
already
got.
know what. I think we already know what Rivals 2 needs to do to pop up. It's literally everything that nobody did in Rivals 1, essentially. And to kind of wrap up, like, the initial question of, like, why didn't you guys, where's the support for Rivals 1, right? It's boils down to these things. From Skeptic's point of view, it's, like, hard to get into, right? That was a reasonable complaint. From tech's perspective, there was a lack of content. That is also a reasonable complaint, because that content, such as, like, more beginner guides, we had full streams how to play series, and Bio did a couple
Didn't
of
even
things
finish
as
it.
well. Yeah, like, more stuff like that would have, and pushing that content would have been what would help get more people into playing the game, but we didn't have that. Issues with the community, which we still have issues with the Rivals 1 community, kinda. Push people away from wanting to play the game. And then, of course, like, the lack of people wanting to support the community. And, like, one of the biggest issues that we had with the Rivals 1 community was, like, the existence of cliques. 1,000%.
Yeah, I mean, that's still a problem in this game, not as much so, but it still is. And in terms of what Goose said, so you're referring to, like, collegiate sports, essentially, to add on to the exposure for Rivals 2.
Oh, fuck it, this could be a longer
And
podcast.
for that I
Fuck
say,
it.
yeah, no, that wouldn't be a bad idea. Essentially, by high school, yeah. I just go by collegiate because that's essentially what it is. It's high school into collegiate, because that's the same way it works for normal sports, and has been working for esports in the same regard. So yeah, no, I do agree with you, but I feel like the problem becomes what I feel like that's on the devs to do, and there's not really much input we could do to make it better, you know?
Goof,
Just side.
Yeah.
Goof, I see your statement about, like, trying to get play versus to add rivals. I want a collegiate league to add rivals as much as the next person. It's just... It's just hard. Like, one of my professors actually works for CFGC, and I was like, hey, can you convince the CFGC people to add rivals? And I just never got a response back for that.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I had an immediate connection, and I just never got a response. So it's... If we do somehow manage to get collegiate rivals too, the game would need to be pushed out a shit ton more for a
Be
shit ton more
polished.
to get that point. Yeah, and be
No,
a
I
lot more
wouldn't even want to
polished.
do this unless like we get more optimization, but that's a different story.
That
Yeah.
too. But
I also
anyways,
I do like what Defiant Ether said. That's kind of just bouncing off of my point with how everything's in like a fucking document. I mean, there's specific
Oh yeah, I didn't even
specific
touch on this. Yeah.
character discords where it's like,
Oh my
yeah, bro,
god.
it's in the doc, and I was like, why don't
There's
people just make
Okay.
video?
another problem, and I'm guilty of this too, because I get distracted a lot. Because I still need to work on some stuff for Olicord. 'Cause
yeah,
I
we
keep
both
getting
do.
over and over and over and over and over again. But I've just been busy with stuff because quite
Yeah, we're
literally
doing
it's not
this
too
shit
long now
too.
that I'm about to take my driver's test. So I've been like super busy on that one.
Okay.
But I still need to make like a matchup guide for Olympia because there's a lot of things that people don't understand about Olympia that they're struggling with. Because a lot of people are struggling with like the Claren matchup, for example. And Ollie does really well into that matchup. But the thing is, you wouldn't know that if you haven't done it over and over and over again. And there's not really many guides for that for Olympia. So that's
Yeah.
partially my fault. But at the same time, it's just a matter of like nobody really has the incentive or drive to share tech because they don't want to just like say it out loud because they want to do it in a way where it's, in my case anyway, I want to do it in a way where it's like actually available for people constantly, but at the same time I distract myself with other things.
Yeah, I'm also guilty of this because Shadow. Remember the Rivals 1 Olympia Beginners Guide? Yeah, we still never finished that, and it's
still never did that. We were supposed to do that
it's
by last New Year's,
yeah.
literally 7 months ago, and
Yeah,
still
we're
like,
both kind of guilty of like not being
like,
not being on top
it's
of things,
already
but the
it's
drive is
already
there. The drive is there.
Yeah, it's already there. Like a lot of the work has been put into it. We just have to like finalize it and release it.
And then also
But
have to put in a video form so people aren't having to look for a document over and over again. But yeah,
the thing about that Define is that breaks immediately when you realize that Zeke has been doing a lot
He's
in
done
regards
free.
to like making things publicly available. He's done like
He's done free
VOD
shit
reviews.
too.
He's doing, yeah, he has his own thing, but at the same time he loves giving general advice.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna touch on this really.
I agree.
Fucking
Zeke
brief.
is the exception, not the standard.
Even though he should be they should be the standard. But anyways, no, like another thing. Back to the streaming thing. In Rivals 1, yeah, we only had 3 people. In 2, there's a plethora of people ranging from like high and low level people.
yeah.
And like people like learning shit. Like I neglected to mention that because like literally there's like yeah, we got Stango streaming, sometimes Zeus, who's like one of the more consistent top people streaming, right? You also got Zeke there doing coaching. You got me, like who's like up there, but like just doesn't have the like. I think I'm up there, but I just don't have like results to prove it.
Yeah, you got Santina for mid level.
Yeah, you got
Also
Santino.
got Creighton in that regard too.
Yeah, and you also have Zap.
You also have Spades for late night high level.
Yeah.
He also does like he's also been doing this thing recently where he's like not necessarily like gambling, but like hot betting on certain matches,
I think
how
it's
they
like
would go.
channel
Like,
points.
with
No.
Yeah, it's like channel points.
Yep.
Essentially.
So yeah, there's that. Yeah,
He's
Rivals
been doing
Casino.
that too. Oh my god, Rivals Casino.
Yeah, and then we got Zap, like
Yeah.
who's learning, like and is like evolving constantly.
Zap-
It's I love seeing the growth.
Yeah, I ended up doing a few games with Zap recently. Try to show her a few things with like apps. Mix of characters. I've been going mainly random. I go random against low level players because it's just like I kind of want them to see the aspects of what every character can do first, because I don't want to just dunk on them. That's not fun.
Cause like, and also streaming shows personality too. Like, and that's like a thing that I feel like was a waste in Rivals 1, and Goof said it in chat if you were watching this live, where it's like you don't know shit about the top level players. Why should I care about Cake Assault versus Penguin for the 700 million time? But I will say I did care about Marlin versus Stango. I also care about
I've been trying to get something going on too. I kind of want to show the side of like labbing stuff. Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like we do need someone that's willing to lab out random tech and like share viability. Because the thing about tech being discovered is just it's a fun process for me. Because I love discovering new things. Like recently, I discovered something with Olympia to help with her edge guarding. Because I know that she struggles with edge guarding against certain characters because she has to risk herself to go off stage.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, I'm just gonna do this. I'm gonna implement this and practice it. But the problem is, again, I haven't
Yeah.
been doing it.
But
Like I've just been playing the game.
probably should cut this. This has gone on too long, but yeah.
Um, well,
Our bad. Our bad.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. We went from what Outkast was saying, though, this is going to take like less than an hour to like having an actual good conversation, so this is good. But I'll wrap up the whole point with this. My problem with the Rivals 1 community now is that I just get a general lack of support for my tournaments. And it's kind of annoying wanting to... I wanted to run an amateur bracket, right? For those who have been keeping up with our episodes, you might have remembered that I had one tangent where I introduced Pop Cup. And Pop Cup was meant to be an amateur series to kind of sort of replace RFC, in a sense, as like a step below RAS. And I haven't been able to run it again since July, unfortunately. And because I'm about to start my final year in college, and I have no other people really helping me out aside from KD8 and Gordorak also wants to help out, but we haven't just been able to run it. I've just decided, well, if Pop Cup doesn't run on August 30th, I'm just gonna put a can on it, and the hunt will go back to being a weekly. And the hunt has been the longest running tournament that I have ran, going on for almost 4 years now, starting from December 27, 2021. With the Hunt PC, back when there was a PC and Switch side for the Hunt. You know, it pains me to actually say this, but if the Hunt goes back to being weekly and nobody still wants to join it, because the only way I can realistically run the Hunt and Pop Cup is if I alternate the two brackets bi-weekly. And, well... it's better for me to show this than actually say it, but like
I'll click on it.
the last time a Hunt ran was with the Hunt 160 and the Hunt 61, 62. Neither of those ran, and because nobody joined. But it's like I have no other choice but to set the Hunt to bi-weekly if I want to run Pup Cup, and I haven't even been able to run Pup Cup either. And part of the thing that I've noticed is that in these conversations with Rivals 1 brackets mentioned by the main active Rivals 1 people, it's just that my events just seem to get left out like most of the time. I just genuinely don't know why. And it's even coming from people that I know have either entered a Hunt or helped promote the Hunt. And then the next thing I know, they just don't do that anymore. It's always join RAS and Academy, or join whatever brackets that we have in the mid-level grind server. Rarely do I ever see join the Dust Wolves community server, or our Wolfpack tournament series, what it was called that. And first, I'll say this, it's kind of disrespectful to me, honestly. I've been around a lot longer than most of the active people that are like TOs in the community, at least for Rivals 1, and they're like in MLG, right? And it just hurts to hear. It just hurts to see that, oh, my bracket doesn't get mentioned a lot of the time. It just hurts to see that nobody wants to join this anymore. It also hurts to see when I wanted to try out Sleet for the first time, and I wanted to run the Hunt and the Feast off of Sleet, I get hit with the "you're deterring people from entering the Hunt by running it off of Sleet." But when I go look on Sleet and look at mid-off and super mid-off, there's still people joining that. There's still plenty of people joining mid-level tournaments, whether it be in Rivals 1, which is what they're mainly known for, or Rivals 2, just off of Sleet. That irritated me the most because I really do want to use Sleet. I think it's more easy to use than Start GG. For one, it's more easy for other people to use, but because I wanted to try something, I just get hit with, oh, I'm hurting people. I'm keeping people from like wanting to enter when I know that's not true. Like I really do not get it at all. And then the other thing that kind of irritated me was the fact that this time it was like, where can Rivals 1 people look at Rivals 1 VODs for stuff? And you have the Aether Studios channel with some of their archive VODs from back when all tournament VODs got stored there. You had other main thing was MLG Replay that gets mentioned. There's other stuff like KML tournaments, AZ Rivals, Florida Rivals for GOTY stuff. And I'm just sitting here like, okay, well, I guess I'll plug the Dust Wolves YouTube channel, or again, formerly known as Wolfpack FGC YouTube channel. I plugged that in. And somehow people didn't know that. But 9 times, no, not even 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, whenever I'm able to stream a top 8 of any bracket, it is guaranteed that the VODs from that bracket are going to go up on that YouTube page. Not to mention, there are 2 channels set up in the Dust Wolves community server for where just YouTube stuff can be found, right? Every time I make a bunch of VODs and I manage to chop up VODs, or one of my video editors on the team managed to chop up VODs, I will put the link to that VOD in a channel called Tourney VODs. And there's also a YouTube upload thing that is at the very top of the server. So I don't even know how that was possible at all either. Especially when the oldest VOD that was on the Dust Wolves YouTube channel, because younger me at the time was not smart and didn't realize that, oh, I should have been putting VODs of the hunt I should have been putting VODs of the hunt up on YouTube. Because there are some older hunts that got streamed that just never got put up on YouTube. And that's my bad. I didn't know at the time. I learned. The oldest VOD is like the hunt 40-something. And it's when I put the thumbnail together using Microsoft PowerPoint. That's older than mid-off. So I don't get it. I've been quiet about this for a long time. But no, I genuinely do feel like I have to say, because it's kind of sad that this bracket that I wanted to run alongside my team back in 2021 is like, it's on its deathbed. And it's like the second longest tournament that's around right now in terms of like weeklies. Is the 3rd longest running tournament that still has Rivals 1 at it, only behind RAS and Heatwave. And this is what I end up getting. Now, if I made any shit decisions with the hunt, please, by all means, tell me that I made a shit decision with the hunt. I want to hear it. I want criticism. I want to know how I can make things better, because I still care about Rivals 1. I still care deeply about Rivals 1. I was one of the main people always saying that this game is still not dead. There's still Rivals to be played. Since Genesis X, and everybody was saying that, oh, this game is dead now. No, I've been constantly trying to push that. So TLDR is that I'm kind of tired of just my tournaments being left out on a lot of stuff. And I put a lot of work into it, honestly. And it would hurt me if I just never got a chance to run Pop Cup, and it would hurt me even more if I just had to stop running Rivals 1 as a whole. But yeah, that's all I have to say about like my input for that. And yeah, I think that's a good place to stop it. I do apologize for getting emotional. It's just that
No.
I love TOing. I spent the past 4 years now doing nothing but TOing and other stuff on the side. I still want to run threat level alpha as shit that threat level as how shit the threat level alpha 2 went. I'd still want to make it better. But all I ask is that if you are a Rivals 1 player, please don't just restrict yourself to brackets and like the only like 2 servers that like people tell you to go to. Please, please, please join these tournaments. I would appreciate it very much because I do still want to run Rivals 1. And I would like for newer people or returning people that are struggling to get far in RAS to be able to play in Pub Cup as like that step below of RAS.
And if you got any suggestions, guys, please feel free to reach out to Jazz, because you know that honestly, another issue that we've had is that people will walk away from it without offering any suggestions. So quite literally, we don't know what's going on.
Yeah. I remember a timeline where everyone struggled to find a day to run a weekly because everybody was entering every weekly 7 days a week. Some people were playing in 7 weeklies 7 days a week. And yeah, there's a lot lower attendance now. My personal thing, without dragging it on too far, is it just goes back to the whole it's way too clicky thing. I won't go super deep into it, but that's just my personal thing. And for it to be newer and clicky, and I do agree, it is disrespectful for someone who is now considered an old head that is still running the tournaments and is just not being respected in that way. And I mean, we could be wrong. Maybe there's just some communication that wasn't portrayed somewhere along the way, but who fucking knows? But I mean, when you're promoting the tournament in any which way you can, and you know, maybe shit's happening behind closed doors because of potential clicks, but I'm not putting words in people's mouths. I'm just saying, you know, so let us know.
Yeah, that'll go ahead and do it for today's episode. We went
We actually went way over.
far here.
I thought it was going to be a short one, but yeah, there's a lot of good combos. I didn't think we were going to get everybody in here. That's why I was like, it's probably going to be a short one. Yeah.
Outkast, I actually have work to go to, man. While
Yeah,
you're
so-
sitting here with your 17 Lambos, your 30 Bugattis,
Yeah, dude.
throwing
yeah.
away your money at your butler.
Dude, his butler's getting his bath ready right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Never see any of this shit. Yeah.
Wow, I gotta flex on us too.
What is this like?
So rude, bro. So rude.
40, 60. That's $70.
I'm out here eating ice
And then
soup.
we got whatever this shit is.
Oh my
Oh,
god. And you got
American
American
dollar,
money.
boo.
Come on,
Oh
brother.
my
Come
God.
on.
Fucking
Spare
worthless.
us peasants, bro.
Yeah, actually worthless.
He's really
But
young.
yeah, that's gonna wrap things up for this episode. Catch us on YouTube, !pod for the YouTube
God damn it.
playlist link, and we're also on Spotify, ! Spotify for the Spotify playlist link. Thank you all for watching. Please play AFQM. Help that game
Yeah.
grow.
Yes,
please
please.
Please give Rush Rev a chance. I promise you, the current community is open to helping you. And please, 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 if you're a Rivals 1 player, please be more open to playing in other tournaments. We can only do so much as like a small community, especially when we have AFQM now out and it's having very familiar mechanics to Rivals 1. You have a literal threat on your hands. But yeah, have a good night, everybody. See you next week for a grab bag episode.
Take care.